I found her freaking Craigslist ad. I'm beyond pissed. I'm a 33-year-old man who just discovered that my wife is nothing but a lying, cheating hoe. We've been married 8 years, and I was genuinely proud of her when she finally landed her new job. After months of struggling to get any decent work, I was happy for her. She has like $80K debt from college, and I supported through all that dead weight, only to end up like this. Her new job's been flying her out to everywhere, and even though it meant less time with me, I wanted her to enjoy the opportunities. But apparently, she's enjoying too much. This morning, while using our shared computer, I noticed her email was still logged in, and out of sheer curiosity, I took a peek. I found an email from an active Craigslist ad, looking for a hotel hookup. There were multiple responses already, but it looks like she hasn't replied or arranged anything yet. I'm furious. I trusted her, and now I see that she's nothing more than a selfish, deceitful bitch who's happy to throw away our marriage for a cheap thrill. And God knows, maybe this isn't even the first time. I'm torn between confronting her right away and wait until she gets back from her goddamn business trip. I'm not going to let her disrespect me like this. I need to know if she's truly that empty inside that she'd rather chase after random hookups than fix what we have, or if she's just too much of a lying hoe to even give me the decency of a straight answer. I'm venting here before I need to figure out my next move. I'm just too angry and destructive right now. I need to calm down first. How will I confront her without losing my mind completely and doing something that'll ruin my life? I'm at a complete loss, and every fiber of my being is screaming for some form of retribution. Any advice or shared experiences would be appreciated. I'm seething and ready to tear this nightmare apart piece by piece. Update 1. This shit just keeps getting worse. I thought I'd seen the worst of her bullshit, but goddamn I was wrong. After my initial discovery, I scrolled further into her email, and wouldn't you know it, I found 2 more Craigslist ads. They lined up perfectly with her 2 previous business trips. Both ads have replies from various men, but the second one's more infuriating. She replied to 3 different guys and arranged meetups. 2 were set to meet at her room, and another at some other location. And they even exchanged details about the aspects they'd like to explore. It's sickening beyond words. I've been saving every piece of evidence by taking screenshots of every email I can get my hands on. I'm building a digital case file of every betrayal and lie. I haven't told a soul about this yet. I'm keeping it all to myself for now while I calm myself down enough. I'm beyond pissed off at this point. Every time I think I've seen the bottom of this cesspool, another revelation hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm ghosting her. Haven't answered a single call since I found out yesterday. She keeps calling, and I know I should answer and pretend everything's fine, but I can't bring myself to hear her voice. What she's done is unforgivable. It's criminal. She screwed 3 guys, came back as if nothing happened, and got intimate with me. What of STDs? She's endangered my well-being. I didn't ask for any of this. I've started researching about divorce. Now, we're in a no-fault state, so legally speaking, her infidelity won't automatically swing the court in my favor. However, every screenshot, every email I've saved is going to be a damn powerful bargaining chip when it comes to negotiating alimony and property division. I'm not rushing into anything yet. I want to be smart about this. I don't want to end up losing everything. I'm still reeling and trying to figure out how to make my first move. If any of you have been through this kind of relentless betrayal and have any advice on how to move forward without losing every bit of yourself in the process, I'm all ears. Update 2. For the record, when she got back from her latest business trip, I kept up the act like everything was fine. I didn't let on a single hint that I knew about the Craigslist ads or all her lies. For 3 whole days, I played the role of the loving, supportive husband, smiling in the morning, making dinner, and asking about her day, while every minute I was counting down to the moment I'd end this charade. The divorce papers weren't ready yet. Then, on day 4 after her return, I handed her the divorce papers. I had collected them after work that evening. We were having dinner, and I just calmly slid the papers across the table and watched as her eyes went blank. After a few agonizing seconds, she sort of had a breakdown in silence. There wasn't a single tear, just a quiet, heavy resignation that that told me she'd known deep down what was coming. I've already set the wheels in motion with my attorney, and we're about to kick off mediation. I made it clear from the start that I'm aiming for an uncontested divorce. I'm not interested in a drawn-out, bitter court battle. I want a clean break, and I don't want to take anything of hers, nor will she take anything of mine. Even though we live in a no-fault state and her infidelity won't automatically give me a legal advantage, I know every damn screenshot I have, which she knows I do, is leverage against her. Meanwhile, her family's gotten involved. They're fuming. Not only is she being castigated for her own actions, but they're even angrier with me for pushing her away by serving her the papers so soon after her return. I know it sounds twisted, but the blame's being thrown around like confetti at a parade, and a lot of it's aimed at me. They say I should have given her a chance to fix things, fight a little for her. But after everything I uncovered, there was nothing left to fix. She was no longer mine. Why would I fight for her? I'm still processing it all. It's surreal. My life, as I know it, is ending. I'm filled with worry, anger, and dread when I think of the coming weeks. I'm never going to be the same again. I hate her. Final update. It's almost drawn close to the end. 4 mediation sessions later, because my soon-to-be ex was hell-bent on wasting my time. During mediation, she and her lawyer insisted I take on at least half of her nearly $80,000 debt. My lawyer and I shut that idea down cold. She actually had the audacity to cry a little and say it's the gentlemanly thing to do. I told her she was no lady, so there's no need for me to be a gentleman. They still wouldn't let go. So after we got back home the 3rd session, I made a veiled threat that I'm taking the high road, but I can always choose to be an asshole. She looked at me like a deer in a headlight. After that, she dropped trying to stick me with her debt and agreed to go separate ways and not be attached to each other in any way. Debt, alimony, or otherwise. As I stated from the start, I'm here for an uncontested divorce, and I'm not about to be saddled with liabilities that aren't mine. Looking back, all those little patterns in our everyday life now make sense. When I'd ask her about getting stuff for the apartment, she'd agree blankly or dismiss the topic, cutting our conversation short. Then, out of nowhere, she'd get cranky, always leaving me apologizing just to smooth things over, even though I was only trying to talk about simple things. Lately, it'd gotten worse. She started going out with various friends, once staying out until the early morning, which we got into a massive quarrel about. She said she was bored and that I was too much of an indoor person. She'd dressed up for those nights out. New clothes, fussing over her hair and makeup, telling me I want to look cute, as if it was for someone else. Now I know it was indeed for someone else. And then there was the sudden phone password. She never had one before, not since we met. She claimed it was because her friends once prank texted people when she left her phone unattended. I don't know if that's true, but I caught her once texting hurriedly while I was walking behind her. When I tried to get a glimpse of what she was doing, she blocked me subtly and later brushed it off, saying I was imagining things. In hindsight, all these little red flags were pieces of a much bigger lie. After the last mediation, I ran into her family. They kept giving me these cold, judgmental looks, as if I was somehow to blame for everything. It goes to show that sometimes the people closest to you can be the first to point fingers when things go south. Now, with mediation done and the divorce process slated to be finalized in about 3 weeks, I'm kinda unsure what I'm gonna do after everything's wrapped up. I'm still processing all these lies and the reality of what our marriage was built on. It's a bitter, painful end, but I want to heal, forgive, forget, and move on. Edit. I also found out that her pre-marriage body count, which she swore was 4, was a lie. Now I found out, courtesy of her ex-friend, that it's somewhere from 25 to 35. Even more. I wish that ex-friend had told me that before I married her. The reason she spilled this finally was because she uncovered texts between her husband and my soon-to-be ex that she did not like. I didn't inquire more details, as none of that is relevant to me anymore, but yeah, my soon-to-be ex might be a homewrecker too, on top of everything else. Edit 2. I have no intention of spreading the content of the screenshots. As far as I'm concerned, they achieved the desired outcome. I got a clean break, which is all I wanted.